Was sober when he died. He got sober before I got born, but he was an intravenous drug user. He was an alcoholic. He used to have so many DUIs that he would like buy used cards without like a title, so he wouldn't have to register it and get
what a workaround.
So like I read all this shit.
That's how you know booze rules.
And I read how he struggled to get sober and how he got sober, like in his own words. Died at work in an accident, and so my mom had to.
I thought he died of a heart attack.
So my mom had to drive to Philly to pick up his work truck and then drive his work truck back alone. And then she told me like all this shit, like when she had to identify the body, she flipped out, she locked the door, they had to break in, they had to like hit her with like a shot and knock her out. Cause she
didn't believe he was dead?
No, dude, she like destroyed everything in the hospital. And then she had to go home and tell her 8-year-old son that
and you're an only child.
I'm an only child.
Fuck.
And she was a teacher's assistant in the grade below me. And so I'm going to the bathroom and this girl comes up. She goes, "Are you Ian Finance?" I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, your dad died. Your mom went to go find him."
That's how you found out?
What? She's like, "Yeah, there was an accident." And I just started screaming.
Wait, that's how you found out?
Yeah, and they had to come get me, and then the teacher was like, no, she's there. There's confusion.
She's retarded. She's got to go to a different school. We're sending her to a retard school. They're going to put her down. God
She's like, Ian's father's not the only one dying today.
Yeah, sorry. This is Philly rules.
Swear? Like, were you always trying to find like
my guy until last year, until my therapist broke it to me? It was like, I've talked about this before on podcasts, so I don't want to do it again, but I had this thing with older comedians that I worshipped, like Louis, Chappelle, and Burr, where I really was like hurt that none of them mentored me. And I was really hurt that none of them ever complimented me.
Yeah.
I was at the Cellar. I was at all these places, and I'd had all these stories of my friends being like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then it was in therapy that my therapist was like, yeah, that's just your dad. And then you go, and then now I don't give a shit. Now they're like Chappelle, and you're like, cool.
Yeah.
Good for Chappelle and Louis.
Yeah.
But there is like, I think that was what fucked me up, was like searching
of his old tapes, and I found journals of his that he wrote in his 20s. So like,
damn,
dude,
your dad put a lot of pen to paper,
bro. He like wrote poetry. He was like the most righteous, coolest dude. And I found all his old records. I found all these old tapes that he made of like mixtapes from different records.
Did he have like a lame name for him, like Super Awesome Mixtape 1?
Like Thunderbird 97. Yeah.
Get your dick sucked, Volume 3.
Yeah.
Your dad, come
Beat
on.
the sheets. Dirty dick mix. I'm like, Dad.
What's Sweat Tape 5?
Yeah, what's Remember to Always Pull Out 7? What is that about?
He goes busting nuts 17.
But dude, I'm telling you, like, even after he died, we had such a connection for me to learn who he was through his journals.
That's incredible.
Through his music, and like even reading his journals, dude, I found that he was a really bad fucking. He was sober when he died. He got sober before I got born, but he was an intravenous drug user. He was an alcoholic. He used to have so many DUIs that he would like buy used cards without like a title, so he wouldn't have to register it and get
what a workaround.
So like I read all this shit.
That's how you know booze rules.
And I read how he struggled to get sober and how he got sober, like in his own words. And then I went through this. It was, dude, it feels surreal to read this stuff.
All of those?
I have it all. I found somehow an ex-girlfriend of his found me on Facebook, the woman he dated before my mom, and we connected. And she told me these stories about my dad. She lived in Long Island. He used to ride his motorcycle up to New York and like wanted to settle down. She was like, no, like I want to still be like a young whatever. And so then like he ended up being like, well, I can't be in this with you. And so then he started kind of like wanting to settle down more. It was crazy.
Did your mom know that you talked to the ex-girlfriend? Mm-hmm. Was she cool with it?
She was all right with it. But then we kind of had to stop. We had to kind of stop meeting up because it was like very strange. Very strange.
There's people that you meet that know.
She was very kind, but it was almost like, what is...
Yeah, my dad had a half-sister that I wasn't really close with, and I didn't really know. And then, like, she saw me on Billions or something, and she was like, oh my, like, emailed me, like, oh, her son was into my stand-up. And she was like, I'm your aunt, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'll give it a shot. So there's just like, when you inherit your parents' beef,
like
there's this moment where I was like, yeah, I don't know if you're ever close. Like, you're not telling me anything I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking for.
I was told things I didn't know.
I was looking for like,
yeah.
And then this story, and he was very much like this, and they tell me that, and I'd be like,
but it was like super sweet. It was very nice. I think I cathartically gave her some things because after they broke up, she didn't hear from my dad, and then one day found out he died. And then, I was kind of like bridging a gap of information. She was filling things in with me.
You provided services for each other.
Totally.
You gave a little bit. I mean, you got a more well-rounded idea of who your dad was.
But also, like, I was like drinking at the time, so I was like showing up fucking hammered. Like, tell me more about my dad.
She goes, you got your dad's good stuff.
You have a piece like this? Oh, what do you think?
She goes, by the way, I still got those clean needles. And you're like, yeah, bad little bitch. Yeah. I can see why you wanted to not settle there. All through my 20s and all through my 30s, I was like, oh, my dad was funny. He was smart. He just had this thing. And then now I'm in my 40s and I'm kind of like, my sister, and we talked about this before on the podcast, I found a letter of my sister's to my dad that was kind of like, hey, I don't know you. You abandoned me. I wouldn't recognize you if we walked down the street. Like, this sucks. I want you in my life. Yeah. And also, I think I was like 11 or 12 when she wrote this letter, and she's like, Dan still believes in you. Like, Dan still thinks you're the man.
Oh my God, that's
Don't
so
lose
heartbreaking.
that. But it is heartbreaking. But with the release I found in it, and this is what I said in therapy, was like, I no longer take my dad abandoning me personally, because I go, oh, this is just what he did. Yeah. He abandoned my sister. He abandoned me. Right. This is just what he did. Yeah. He had a kid, stuck around for a couple of years, and was like, yeah, this sucks. And then would dip, and then would just go live with his mom and get blacked out and fuck bar sluts. And that's how he died, where he was just kind of like, yeah, I just want to party, get drunk, and fuck sluts. I don't want any commitment. I don't want any kind of like responsibility. And I was always like, he was the man, because he was the man. He was so funny. He was so smart.
So which dream do you choose to live in? The idealized version of like, he was the man, I love him, or
the reality.
He sucked, fuck him.
Since I started, well, here's the thing.
Or is it not fuck him? It's he sucks. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. This is what life is. Mm-hmm. Life isn't all good. Life isn't all bad. Yeah. Life is, he still was very funny. Mm-hmm. Still very funny. Very smart. Read all the time. Would rip through books. Even Rush Limbaugh books, he would rip right through. He was a shitty dad. Yeah. Kind of a shitty dude. Probably wouldn't have been a good dad to me when I was in my teens and my 20s. Probably wouldn't have been around. Then I would have been like really resentful of him. Yeah. Then I probably would have been a lot more violent. Yeah. Then I get to my 20s, I probably don't want to talk to him. Because my sister, her whole 20s, she's like, why the fuck would I talk to this loser? He doesn't give a fuck about me. And then I started hitting some success. Fucking Waterboy's dad, dude. You'd show up at my wedding being like, I'm back.
I love you, son.
Just like Tiger Woods dad. You'd have been like, I seen you on Comedy Central. You're doing all the voices.
I love that show, thousands. And it's Billions, Dad.
It would have been that. And it would have been like, hey, I would have been getting calls. Hey, pal, my car got repoed. You think you could give your old man a couple grand to get it out? And I would be like, brutal. Because life is all those things. I would still want to love him. I would still want him. So there would be like sometimes, and this is for people that have lost parents early, sometimes you have to wrap yourself around the idea that it might be better that he died. Yeah. It might be better for you, and this is a very selfish thought, but it is very true. Might be better that he's dead. Well, because then you can mourn him in a way that you can love him in a way that's different than if he would have been around.
I've been wanting to say this a while, but I heard years ago that you were helping your mom out financially and like taking care of her, and I always admired that. Like, I don't know to what extent or whatever that's your business, but I admired that so much, and I've always thought of you and I've always wanted that. Yeah. And I have been able to do that with my mom, and it makes me think of you.
Oh, thanks.
When I help my mom out, and that's something I always admired in you, and it inspired me. And so I'm grateful I get to do that today. And so you, without even knowing it, you really helped
thanks.
me.
I'm very lucky to do this as a job. Like the fact that it's even considered a job is never lost on me.
Yeah, same.
And it's never like, I was telling my buddy, whenever I walk by a restaurant and I see them setting up a cafe, I'm like, this is where I should be. Yeah. This is where I should be.
That's what I do when I walk by a graveyard.
But you know what, man? It's like, I really appreciate all the shit. my mom, I'm not having kids. So I told her, it was like,
Same.
I'm not having kids, but I can pay your cable bill the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, there you go. And it's like, I don't know, man. I think it's, I don't need a lot. I have enough. And if I can help any of my family or my friends, then it's just a cool position to be in.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, I wish a lot more people did that, because I feel like the world needs that a lot. Sometimes there's a lot of hoarding going on.
I know.
And it sucks.
I know. It just feels good though. Like, I just know I put my mom through hell.
Yeah,
and
that's also why it is.
to
I
be
put my
able
mom through
to
some
like,
fucking dog shit.
dude. I mean, my God, it's like that again. Like, just looking at her, it's so funny to look at your mom and be like, "We've been in the shit, huh, brother?"
That is, in any
It's such an interesting moment
any
to
only
have.
child of a